We are in the mountains of Rocky Top in Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the first edition of the 2024 Black Bear Brawl. Second year that this has happened thus far. And this first game we've got for you is a matchup between the Tri-Cities Christian Academy Eagles and the Augusta Eagles. Blountville, Tennessee versus Martinez, Georgia. Welcome to everyone listening for now around the world, soon to be watching. I'm Spencer Thompson. Eli Cornett will join us in a moment. We're having some technical difficulties in trying to get the video up, so I'm going to do my best to give you an audio-only feed while this is being set up. And right now it is a 3rd and 5 for the Augusta Eagles, and an attempted handoff in the backfield by Eli Petit. That was to Van Waits, who got tripped up, or a loss of about 7 yards. That'll bring up a 4th down and 13 as the Augusta Eagles will be set to punt this away. And we've got about 11 minutes left to go here in the first quarter, as again we are facing video issues right now. We'll try to give you our best audio-only call. We've got Eli Cornett down below who's trying to get the cameras all up and running. We apologize for the inconvenience. We promise we will get this up as soon as possible. We got a running clock. It's matched up, and this one punted away and received in the backfield by 7. That's Noah Kolko, who's got a good punt return up to the 44-yard line. And we'll start in a 1st and 10 here for the Tri-City Christian Academy Eagles. And gets it to 10:21 left to go here in the first quarter. Tri-City Eagles last year, they were the number 2 seed in the Southeastern Extreme Conference North, 6-3 record, 2-1 in conference. Final game of the regular season was a loss in the semifinal to the Freedom Cowboys, who were the eventual champions of the conference at 56-32. The Freedom Cowboys won that on the road in Blountville, Tennessee. And the Tri-City Eagles losing 2 seniors from last year, trying to build off of that momentum on a 1st and 10. Fake, it's a reversal. It was a handoff to the front and a big toss up the middle, and that's incomplete. Almost a wide open touchdown for Noah Kolko. There was a lob first by Petit to Waits. Waits flea-flicked it back to him at about the 50-yard line, and a toss across the middle, and it was bobbled in the hands of the senior, who normally doesn't have that issue. Last year, 24 receptions for 463 yards, 3 touchdowns receiving on the year. Normally not an issue, and just makes a big mistake there in clutch. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10, as again, we are trying to configure everything here on our end. Again, video issues, we will try to get those up for you as soon as we can. And a 2nd and 10, quick pitch, left side. That's Drew Rope, the junior, who gets swallowed by 2 defenders for Augusta. That was Pelham Inglet and Nathan Whiting, the pair of juniors on the left side of the field. And a loss of a yard for a 3rd down and 11. And brings it up a 3rd down here for Tri-City Eagles. Ball snap. It's a deep toss across the middle, looking for the reception. It's caught in coverage. A good reception by Josiah Dixon, who stopped down at the 11-yard line. It was good coverage at first on the defense by Nathaniel Reese, the junior, and brings it up to a 1st down and 10 at the 11-yard line. The Tri-City Eagles are marching down the field. Actually, Jordan Brown, the freshman, who is at the starting position here for Tri-Cities. A handoff up the middle. Preston Holmes going up the middle. Preston Holmes trying to push for the end zone. He's down to about the 1-yard line, just shy of the line to gain to get a 1st and goal. They'll spot him at the 2-yard line for a 2nd and 1. Certainly a penalty can make for a goal here. This is pitched forward, going into the end zone. Drew Rope for the touchdown. The Tri-Cities Christian Academy Eagles will score first in Gatlinburg. A great pitch forward. The junior grabbed the ball from the pitch forward by his quarterback in Jordan Brown, the freshman, Lob forward, and Tri-Cities will get the first score. Two-point conversion attempt upcoming here. You've got Preston Holmes, the senior, alone in the backfield. About 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The ball snapped, handed up the middle, and trying to push for the end zone. He breaks the goal line, and that's an 8-0 lead for the Tri-Cities Christian Academy Eagles. 8-0 here in Gatlinburg with 9:03 left to go in the first quarter. First team to score in the 2024 Black Bear Brawls comes at the hands of the Tri-Cities Eagles. Still trying to work through video issues here for you. We got 9:03 left to go in the first quarter. The Tri-Cities Christian Academy Eagles scored first on a march down the field about 70 yards. A kickoff here from Josiah Dixon. Get a nice kick that'll bounce at the 17-yard line, picked up at the 15. And this is a return back by Jaquel Roberts, the senior. He's got some space on the right side. 10-on-10 action as number 10, Josiah Dixon. 10-on-10 action, senior-on-senior action. Josiah Dixon gets the tackle on the backside. We're joined now by Eli Cornett as we're still working through what we can here. And Eli, your thoughts on that first touchdown drive?
Great first strong drive for the Tri-City Eagles. Great job by the offense, driving down the field, getting into a third and long situation, able to get the ball down the field on that downfield pass to Josiah Dixon, with Drew Root finishing off the drive on that little jet pass right there. And Preston Holmes running in for a 2-point conversion. So great first drive for the Eagles.
First and 10 on the 29-yard line here. We'll see how the Augusta Eagles respond, and this is a pitch left side. Eli Poutit, the senior, has got some space, getting tackled down at about the 36-yard line. That'll bring a gain of 7 yards for Augusta for the 2nd and 3.
Good play there, picking up a good chunk of yards right there. Defensive end crashed too hard on that, able of giving the running back the ability to get to the outside. Good play, good first down play for the Eagles here.
As I mentioned earlier, so the Augusta Eagles are facing off against another fellow number 2 seed, as they were the 2nd seed in the SIFA last year. They had a win in the semifinal, 52-6 against Harvest Christian. 2nd and 3. This is a pitch up the middle again. Luke Reese, the junior, will head up to get the first down to the 41-yard line, and Augusta gets a 1st and 10 on their first set of downs. The Augusta Eagles were, as mentioned, they won in the semifinal, 52-6 against Harvest Christian. They lost in the conference championship, 60-22 against the Pack Panthers, who had 3 games in the span of 8 days. So a tough loss for them after ending the season 10-2, 4-1 in conference. 1st and 10 on the 41. Ball snap, backfield, Nathan Vasselier gets the pass off. That's to Eli Poutit past the 50, going to the 40-yard line, and is forced out of bounds at the 39, but a great gain to get inside Tri-Cities territory.
Good job by the quarterback there, finding the running back in the flat. Good chunk yards. Get to your check down. That's a great job by the quarterback. Running back able to get open in space and move the chains down the field.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good news for you. We do have full screen footage back for you, and or at least we should in a moment. We got footage for you there. You got at least we'll get the image a little bit larger for you. We'll still give you radio play-by-play until we get this fixed here. First and 10 on the 38. Ball snapped. Attempt to rush up the middle by the sophomore Noah Daniel. He tries to stretch out at the last second to get up to the 36-yard line. Gains of about 2 yards for a 2nd and 8.
And that's the matchup I want to see. I want to see the Augusta Eagles offensive line go up against that Tri-Cities defensive line. Preston Holmes is just a freak in the middle. So I really just running a basic power play there. So let's see how that matchup, because that's kind of the matchup today that we're all looking for, that offensive line for Augusta and that defensive line of Tri-Cities.
All right, we got full screen for you now on this, so we'll go a little bit easy on the play-by-play. 2nd down, backfield, little bit of pressure. Vasselier is going to take it himself, avoids 2 tackles. The saying goes, you can avoid the first guy, you can maybe avoid the second guy, but the third guy you're almost never going to be able to get. And the third guy brought him down at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
3rd and long here for the Augusta Eagles. Looking for, I would probably say, a good chunk play here. Good play earlier by getting the running back in the flat. I would go something back to that. Maybe a quick slant. You're just trying to get to a good 4th down and manageable here. Or you can go for the deep shot. So I would try to get something short here. Just get a good chunk of yards setting you up for a comfortable 4th down.
On a 3rd down and 8. Nathan Vasseller commanding the offense. He'll give the handoff up the middle. Not a chance. That defensive line of Tri-Cities. And you talked with Coach Boskin before the game about some strategies they're going and some guys that they're looking for. One of the things we knew going into this competition here for the kickoff game was that Tri-Cities on defense, they don't really have that much to worry about.
They don't have much to worry about. They have Preston Holmes returning. He's kind of their leader up front for the Tri-Cities Eagles. They also have number 77, Chance Hawkins. He's a Seek All-American from last year. So those 2 guys are really the leaders. They're returning a lot of guys from last year's roster. So Coach Boskin said that he really wanted to get a fast start on defense, and that's what they're doing right now.
And on 4th down, they'll go for it deep in enemy territory. Very familiar in the 8-man football scene. Vasseller will go for a deep toss on the right side, and it's incomplete. That's the 2nd time during the game we've seen a perfectly placed pass go through the hands of the receiver, Preston Guay, incomplete, and a turnover on downs.
Good route by Preston Guay there, running a good post route. He beat the safety on that, but not able to make the connection. Looks like we got another Tri-Cities offensive series here getting ready to go.
We've seen it a couple of times through games that you and I have called through the years where you have these teams that try to go on offense. First drive seems to be everything in these sort of competitions. You hope that's not the case for Augusta.
Yeah, for a first week, the coach is getting every coach in football gets a little happy. You've been practicing all summer. You've been practicing all fall, getting ready for the season. You want to try to keep the plays, but you also want to show your hand as well. So.
Scramble by Jordan Brown, toss right side. What a catch! That's Preston Holmes in coverage, almost to the 1st down. They might give it to him. What looked like it could have been a disaster play.
He's probably 1 to 2 yards short there. He was close, but they're going to give it. They're going to move it up a yard. So we're here for like a 2nd and 1.
And what looked almost like a disaster play ended up being a fortunate turn of events. But the senior Preston Holmes hadn't had that many catches on the year either from last year. He had 7 catches for 43 yards. More known on the rushing game and on his defensive side. He even had 1 pass throughout his offensive scenes, as brings up looks like they moved the chains, but the down indicator says 2nd down. As a good avoidance of the tackle, Drew Roop is up to the 39-yard line. We know that's a 1st down, as Drew Roop gets a good play there by almost avoiding getting out of bounds. And unfortunately, it looks like we do have an injury. Drew Roop, after that turn of events, he is now down on the field. Medical staff are going to tend to him, and we will step aside for an injury timeout here in Gatlinburg. Good sign for Drew Roop to be at least carried off, at least a good sign that he's up and not completely on the ground. And we mentioned how you were talking to Coach Boskin beforehand. This is one of the guys he was really excited about, so you hope that everything is okay with him.
Yeah, they found Drew Roop this summer. He came in for summer practice. He was really excited, said Roop is the fastest kid on the team, somebody they were really excited to showcase today, so that's really a shame seeing him walk off right now.
Especially as a junior and the other centerpieces that you have around Tri-Cities in their offensive schemes, and we'll get into that throughout the rest of the day as this injury timeout resumes play. And we are now on 1st and 10 on the 39. Here's a carry up the middle, or keeper, I should say, by Jordan Brown. You have to have a lot of confidence as a coach to put a freshman as your starting quarterback, but it's also because their main quarterback graduated from last year, so someone had to step up to that role.
Yeah, and Coach Boskin said they've spent all summer trying to find a quarterback, and one guy stood out, and he's leading this team, and looks like we're going to motion to trips right here.
Right side catch, Josiah Dixon, incomplete actually. Looked like another one of those situations of could have been a clear scoop, just couldn't clutch the ball, and brings up a 3rd down.
Yeah, and you got to tell your quarterback to set it on there, set his feet, make the throw. That's a basic pass that every quarterback is able to make. Just settle those nerves down. He missed that deep ball earlier, so he's just got to settle in here.
3rd and 5. And looks like it could have been an offsides jump. Didn't go far off enough, as Tri-Cities will call an audible at the line, and we do have a flag.
Tri-Cities known for their silent count.
Brings up 3rd down. They'll call it a false start, which, again, it looked like Augusta could have jumped off sides there, but one of those split-second calls that has to be made at the line brings it to a 3rd and 9.
All right, 3rd and 9. I would look for Kucklow here. Kucklow is one of their fastest receivers. If I'm Brown, I'm looking his way.
You're right, they got Kucklow on the outside. Scramble across the middle. Incomplete. The pass intended for Bugala, who's usually clutch on the receptions, and that brings up a 4th and 9.
4th and 9. Too short of a field to punt it. I would just try to I'd go to Kucklow here. Jaden Fields is also a guy that they really like, so look for him as well to have a big game today.
Most of the time when you're across midfield in 8-man football, you go for it on 4th down. Tri-Cities keeping the trend. Here's a toss across the middle, incomplete in coverage. Pass intended for Kucklow, and the 2nd straight turnover on downs here for both offenses.
Augusta's been running straight man coverage the entire game, and it works out for them there. They got beat the first drive, but they're really stepping up. Good job by those Augusta DBs to force the 4 and out.
New set of offensive plays for the Augusta Eagles. On the 1st and 10, motion. Poutit to the outside, avoiding tackles from the defense. Looked like he lost the football. It's stripped. Waiting for a whistle. It's ruled down by contact.
He was down.
Yeah, you got a more clear line of sight down with the cameras than I do. It looks like some players blocking. Official had the best angle on the other side of the sideline.
Yeah, just a speed option there. Good job by Preston Holmes and Brady Boskin filling that for the Tri-Cities Eagles. Brady Boskin, another guy, senior for the Tri-Cities, playing middle linebacker. Really excited to see him seek All-American. He's the leader of that defense, of that back end of the defense. So look for him to have a big day as well, along with Preston Holmes up front.
A loss of 3, but not a turnover. Here's up the middle. Carry by Noah Daniel. Get a gain back to the original line of scrimmage for 3rd down. Noah Daniel had 2 carries for 3 yards last year and 1 touchdown as a freshman. The sophomore trying to get some more touches on the ball.
3rd and long here, Augusta. I would try to take a deep shot here, but at the same time, you're giving Tri-Cities good field position. They've been able to move the ball down the field, even though they didn't score last time. So if I'm here, I'm looking for a deep shot. You want a big play to finally gain some momentum. You missed the deep ball last time. You want to try to connect with one here.
3rd and 10. Looking for the option to the right side. That catch is made even in coverage. The reception by Preston Guay, the senior, and into Tri-Cities territory.
Just a good corner out there by Preston Guay. Vossler able to make that connection. There's the big play we've been looking for. Like I said, didn't make the last one, but they connect on this one, setting up another 1st down at the 45-yard line.
New set of downs. Scramble by Vaseller. He's going to keep it himself. Vaseller to about the 40. Tiptoeing the sideline a little bit. He does get short of the line of gain, but decent gain in what looked like it could have been a sack.
And that's the definition of making something out of nothing, James.
James.
Spencer. I apologize.
It's been one of those days.
I apologize.
It's been one of those days. I called Brendan James a little bit ago when we were up here in the booth scrambling around. So
we're all thinking about our lovely commissioner.
Oh yeah, he's over down at the South Field with the junior varsity game between the Freedom Cowboys and the Pack Panthers. That's also live here on 8-Man Extreme. You could do a split screen similar to what everybody's done on YouTube TV the last couple of months. 2nd down and 2. Vaseller, he's got an option to keep it himself. We'll get the 1st down, and how about a little bit more? He's got blockers. There goes Nathan Vaseller, the sophomore, for the touchdown.
And that's what they needed right there. Good play by Vaseller, rolling out, not finding anything. He was looking for that drive route. Peyton Somerville was covered up there by Tri-Cities. Good job on the man covers there by Tri-Cities. But Vaseller making another play, something out of nothing, and Augusta gets on the board.
He had 1 rushing touchdown last year on 10 carries for 41 yards as a freshman, and the sophomore already clear to step up into that starting quarterback role and has shown how dangerous he can be in this first drive in Gatlinburg. First quarter, I should say. Been a couple of drives now at this point. Got a 2-point conversion attempt with 2 receivers on the left. Vaseller with the option to pitch. He's going to keep it, and Vaseller is going to take it himself in to tie up the game.
Just another option play there by Vaseller. Looks like the defensive end crashed in way too hard on that, allowing Vaseller to get the outside edge to tie this ball game up.
8-all here with 1:20 left to go in the first quarter, and we've already got a pretty decent matchup on ourselves here. A battle of the Eagles with the Tri-Cities Christian Academy Eagles from Bluntville, Tennessee. Augusta Eagles from Martinez, Georgia. You know, we talked with Coach Boskin last week for the Southeastern Extreme Conference Media Day, and I asked him, you know, what kind of stuff is interesting in the Tri-Cities? What do people not know about? And they talked about a lot of different things, including, I believe, the Bristol Motor Speedway and now those things. They recommended several different restaurants, too. We're really proud of the Tri-Cities area.
Yeah, Blindfield's a beautiful town. I've gone up there last year with the Franklin Classical Knights. Great town, great city. Tri-Cities a great school, a bunch of lovely people there. Tri-Cities really excited to get this season started.
And this will be returned by Josiah Dixon. He's got some space on the sideline. He's got one man to get past, couldn't juke him out. That was a tackle by Seth Balcom, the junior. Looked like a potential breakaway there on the outside, but Seth Balcom not having any of that.
Looks like Josiah Dixon's down on the play.
Not something you want to see in the kickoff game for the high school season. You already had Drew Roop go out and be looked at by the medical staff, which, as we see down here, he's still clenching. Looks like his right hamstring, his left hamstring. He's still sitting down over there.
Caden Bugala was also holding his wrist on that. So you have 2 guys. Oh, Bugala's back on the field. He's okay.
Yeah, injury is the last thing you want to think about or even see in the kickoff game for your football season. New set of downs on the 46-yard line for Tri-Cities Christian. That's 67 ticks of the clock left in this first quarter as this is handed off up the middle. Preston Holmes yet again with another rush. He'll get up to the 50-yard line for a gain of 6.
And that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to power you with Holmes, but go on down on that crack block. They're going to motion that slot guy in, try to kick that, crack that defensive end out to allow that power play to develop. And good job there getting about 4 yards.
59 carries for 459 yards on the year and 9 touchdowns for Preston Holmes, trying to build off of that good momentum from his junior year. As a keeper by Jordan Brown on the left side, he's got Holmes on the block, and he is brought down at the 48-yard line by Nathan Reese, the junior. He had 69 tackles, 50 of them solo in his sophomore year. Gets a good defensive stop there. He gets a stop at least to prevent any more damage than a first down on the 46-yard line.
Looks like they're going to run this clock out for the first quarter.
Yeah, you're right with them running it down in the final 10 seconds. 1 quarter down in the Black Bear Brawls. Many more to go. So we bring you this kickoff game for high school 8-man football. 8-all here in the Smoky Mountains. Looks like we got audio only again. Another set of video issues again. We'll get those fixed as soon as we can. Deep toss right side for Tri-Cities Christian with the field swapped. Flag on the play. It's an incomplete pass intended for Isaiah Coco, and it looks like it's going to be pass interference from the flag coming on the receiver side.
It was actually pass interference on Coco on that speed out.
Yeah, so that'll be offensive pass interference. They'll bring him back, waiting on the official signal. Looks like he actually motioned to the defense. So that was called on Augusta, and they will move it up for a first down to the 36.
Yeah, Noah Kuklo got knocked down on that play, but Isaiah Kuklo was the intended target. You got the Kuklo brothers out there helping each other out on that penalty.
See the video going in and out. We're fixing that as soon as we can. First and 10 on the 36-yard line for Tri-Cities Christian. Tied 8-all here with 11:51 left to go in the first half. There's the ball snapped, handed off up the middle. A breakaway here. Preston Holmes, he's gone for the end zone. Touchdown, Tri-Cities.
Just a straight dive play there right there by the Tri-City Eagles. Preston Holmes, good job finding the hole and just taking off there. Preston Holmes dangerous at defensive end, but he's also dangerous at running back. They'll set him up on single wing. They'll also play him in that spread formation right there, just giving him the ball up the middle. So good job by Tri-Cities getting that big play, getting back on top.
Tri-City's got the first lead of the game. They maintain that, only having a tie with the Augusta Eagles at 14-8 now. Chance to make it an 8-point game again.
They're going empty here. I expect a quarterback draw. Motioning back in.
Ball snap, right side toss going towards the corner in the end zone. Incomplete. Pass intended initially for Koklo. And Goodenow get a 2-point conversion is no good. 11:43 left to go in this second quarter. And it's 14-8. Tri-Cities leading over Augusta. Welcoming back here to Gatlinburg. 11:43 left to go here in this second quarter. And booted away by Josiah Dixon as this is picked up by Nathaniel Reese, the junior from about the 18. Nathaniel Reese trying to find space. He's got the blockers. Nathaniel Reese trying to make a touchdown here. Cuts inside, and a touchdown saving move by both Josiah Dixon and Noah Koklo, but a great return for the Augusta Eagles.
That's what Augusta needed. They needed another big play. Augusta has been thriving off those big plays to set up momentum. So let's see what they can do right here. Nathaniel Reese, good job setting them up on the Tri-Cities 34-yard line. So let's see what they can do here.
First and 10 from the 34-yard line.
Going out to Twins.
Here's some pressure as Vaseller looking for the pass, but he'll have to keep it as he goes all the way to about the 26-yard line.
Tri-Cities is doing a good job covering these Augusta Eagles, but they just can't contain Vaseller. Vaseller's able to get out of the pocket and make something happen. So the Tri-Cities defensive ends really got to focus on their contain, keeping Vaseller inside the pocket. DBs are doing their job, but this front five for the Tri-Cities Eagles, they got to keep Vaseller in the pocket and keep him contained and stop making all these good scrambles.
Gain of about 7 yards on the play for a 2nd and 3. Vaseller with the pitch. Poutit will get the first down, and he'll go inside the 20, as that'll bring Augusta in the red zone. And a flag after the play. Looks like it'll be some yards tacked on. Didn't see what the signal was. Looks like we got some stoppage. Timeout called by Tri-Cities.
There was a late hit out of bounds, so I believe it was a late hit on that, which is what allowed Augusta to move up.
11:13 left to go here in the second quarter. A 14-8 lead for Tri-Cities with the Augusta Eagles driving. 11:13 left to go here in the second quarter. We've lost video feed. We'll give you audio. Here's a motion to the left side, looking for the pass. That's a toss into the end zone. Touchdown. That was Petit on the reception from Vaseller in the left corner of the end zone, and a touchdown to tie up the game.
Like I said earlier, you got to keep Vaseller in the pocket. He's good at getting out to the edge right there, finding the play, finding Petit on that touchdown pass. So good job, about to even this thing up if they get. Well, no, they are going to even this thing up. So tie ball game, good job, good response by Augusta.
all. Tri-Cities missed the two-point conversion attempt on their last score. Chance for Augusta to have their first lead of the game here. Vaseller, high snap. He'll have to keep it himself, and he's not going to get anywhere past where he had to control the ball, and it keeps us tied at 14. all, 11:07 left to go here in the second quarter as we get closer to halftime here in the Smoky Mountains. The second-year edition of the Black Bear Brawls in the Smoky Mountains. We've got this game going on here as the kickoff. The junior varsity game between the Freedom Cowboys and the Pack Panthers kicks off at 11. That'll be here on the 8-Man Extreme YouTube channel. We got two games starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. The Freedom Cowboys versus the Pack Panthers right here on this field. We'll have it for you. Also on the lower field, the Harvest Christian. That'll be all the games will be live on 8-Man Extreme's YouTube channel. 4 p.m. Arundel Parrott Academy, or Arundel, I should say, versus the Evangel Lightning. As this kickoff return goes to about the 45-yard line, it's picked up. They'll spot it at the 46. The return there by Tri-Cities' Jaden Fields. And you got as well at 4 p.m. on the lower field, the Anderson Cavaliers collide with the Cabarrus Stallions, and then the marquee night game, the Virginia Spartans will face off against Georgia Force at 7 p.m. Eastern. All games here on 8-Man Extreme throughout the rest of your Saturday. First and 10 here for Tri-Cities Christian on the 46-yard line. You got motion on the right side from Bugala, and it's a pitch, a flea flicker, actually. Here goes a toss by Jordan Brown up the middle. Noah Colclough has got it. He's got the catch. He redeemed himself from earlier for the touchdown.
Good trick play there by Tri-Cities. Coach Boskin said earlier that he was going to try to pull a rabbit out of the hat. They went through 3 trick plays this week, and they were going to pull a couple out this week. So great play there by Tri-Cities and Coach Boskin getting the lead.
As we mentioned earlier on one of the first plays from scrimmage, the senior bobbled the ball through his hands, had a clear touchdown in sight, and he redeems himself by getting the catch across the middle on one of the first plays from scrimmage, and it gives the lead back to the Tri-Cities Eagles.
All right, they're going their single wing here with Preston Holmes in the backfield. If they need chunk yardage, this is their go-to guy. Preston Holmes in the Wildcat, so this pretty much, I would say, a guaranteed 2-point conversion right here, guys.
Wildcat as the ball is bobbled by Preston Holmes, but he's still got a flag in the backfield. Holmes somehow still breaks the goal line to the end zone, but we have a flag down in the backside by the referee. It's a holding on the offense, so they'll redo the try. Said it was almost guaranteed, but you can't necessarily predict a holding.
No, it was still guaranteed in my book, Spencer, because he got in the end zone.
They'll reattempt the try, and with that offensive holding call, that'll go back a couple of yards. They'll reattempt this 2-point conversion on the 13-yard line.
They're going to go empty here.
Ball snap left side. Perfect timing for the video to come back on. Josiah Dixon catches it in the close left corner in the end zone, and it make that an 8-point game for Tri-Cities. Oh, we got it very briefly, and then we lost it again. As it's now 10:25 left to go in this first half here. 22-14 is our score. Collision of the Eagles. And we were talking during our production meetings yesterday, Eli, about some of the matchups we were looking forward to. And this is one of those that was definitely a matchup to look forward to because of the similar path both these teams had. Now, you could look on paper at a 6-3 record and think, okay, they weren't the best, but they were just barely above 500. But for Tri-Cities, they're on the up and coming.
They're on the they are on the up and coming. They upset Franklin Classical last year to get into the SEEK playoffs. Came up short against the Freedom Cowboys, but Coach Boskin is really, really proud of his guys. Really trusts his guys. They're looking to get back to the SEEK playoffs, and they're looking to make a run. They have 9 seniors this year, so they have the leadership. They have what they think they need to get back to the SEEK playoffs, and they're looking to make that run starting today against the Augusta Eagles.
And they'll try a squib kick that'll go to the 30-yard line, this time picked up by Nathan Whiting, and it'll get brought down at about the 33-yard line. We'll probably see a little bit more action from Nathan Whiting, and you talk about utility players in football. He's done it all. Last year, they had a star quarterback. He's graduated. The Augusta Eagles had 7 seniors graduate, but Nathan Whiting, 74 carries for 474 yards, 4 touchdowns, had a couple of catches, 81 tackles on the defensive side. So even though they've got a deep roster with this team from Martinez, Georgia, Nathan Whiting seems to be their guy.
Nathan Whiting's their guy. He can do everything. He can catch it out of the backfield. He's a good downhill runner for the Augusta Eagles. So they're going to look to get him more involved. Pootsie has been kind of their guy in the backfield as of late, catching that touchdown pass on their last drive. Vossler has done a great job getting outside the pocket. So I would look probably this drive, I would look to get him more involved.
I believe that was a timeout called by Tri-Cities with 10:45 left to go in this second quarter.
And if I'm Coach Boskin, this is a good timeout. Get your guys settled. They got a little beat up on that last defensive drive, so this is a good job. Settle your guys in. A bunch of guys are playing both ways. Tell your guys to settle down. Take it one play at a time. So this is a good timeout by Coach Boskin, in my opinion.
Coaching staff for the Eagles of Tri-Cities. You've got Jeremy Boskin on the head coaching side, your offensive and defensive line coach Mike Wallace, wide receiver and linebacker coach Kerry Dixon, Micah Turner on the wide receiver and defensive back side, and for special teams and quarterback Barry Booth. Get a coaching staff that you could tell how much they appreciate their players, their program, and how much they dedicate themselves. You can just see the positive energy from Tri-Cities Christian, whether you're watching at home or you're even watching in the stands.
Yeah, and this is a tight group. Coaching staff, players, and even the parents and families, they're a tight group. They're one big family. They love this team. They love the school. So it's really cool to see because they are a really tight group.
And we are back to audio only on this, still working through some of the kinks. And we got a 1st and 10. The Augusta Eagles fumble the ball in the backfield. It's a muff snap, and it's recovered by Tri-Cities. That was Noah Daniel, the sophomore, who got the recovery at the 30-yard line, and the Tri-Cities Eagles have a chance to go up by 2 possessions.
Good play there by the Tri-Cities Eagles, getting the fumble recovery right there. If you're Augusta, that hurts just a little bit. You get the ball to start the second half, but you want to avoid that 2-score deficit you're about to go under if Tri-Cities is able to capitalize here.
Takes about 5-6 seconds off the game clock, and Tri-Cities with great field position starting at the 31-yard line in Augusta territory. Here's a handoff up the middle.
There he goes.
There goes Preston Holmes. Gets an opening inside the red zone.
That Tri-City's offensive lineman is moving the defensive line for Augusta out of the way. They're mauling guys. They're getting guys to the ground. They're making holes for Preston Holmes and Josiah Dixon to get through. So good job there by the offensive line. They're really set the tone. They're winning the battle in the trenches right now, which is allowing Preston Holmes to get free.
From the 19-yard line. Handoff, there he goes again, trying to push through the defensive line. Took a second guy to take him off balance. Preston Holmes yet again will get up to the 12.
Another straight dive play there by Coach Boskin. He wants his best players to get the ball. Preston Holmes being one of them. So good job there. Now they're threatening inside the red zone. So I look for Preston Holmes again. Honestly, it's third time's the charm, right, Spence?
Got past the 12 and to the 8, and 8 is going to try to push through. Had to shove down his own lineman to get to the end zone. That's a touchdown. Chance Hawkins was in his way, but he managed to get another score.
Third time's the charm, Spence, and he had to push one of his guys out of the way to get his second touchdown of the day. Good job there by Preston Holmes, finding the hole, getting there, running through, breaking a couple tackles to get into the end zone, setting up a 2-score lead for the Tri-City Eagles.
14-point lead, chance to make it a 16-point lead at this phase. And who else to trust with the ball than Preston Holmes? He'll go into the middle again, but he's short.
I don't know about that one.
They ruled him short.
That one. From my view down here, Spence, it looked like he was off the ground. He rolled into the end zone, but they called that his knee was down, but it's awfully close.
Brings it to a 14-point lead here on the mountain. Tri-Cities is starting to gain a little more momentum here in Gatlinburg. .57 remaining in this first half. First game of the Gatlinburg Black Bear Brawls. Squib kick that'll go all the way, and it went 10 yards. I think Tri-Cities may have gotten to it. It went beyond 10 yards, waiting for the official to rule something.
I think they were offsides on that. He left.
There was a flag, yep. Yeah, they do rule a flag on the backside, so yeah, it looks like they will bring it back. Minus that offsides. That was good hustle by the Tri-City Eagles. They call it a probably a legal procedure. They give that same signal for false start.
Yeah, Boskin's not happy about that call. Look like right here, looked like they were all good, but officials have a better view than we do up top. So, all right, so we're gonna redo this kick. Probably going to go to the same side, another onside kick. They're looking to get up by 3 scores. So let's see if they have that good effort like they did on the previous penalty.
And here we go. Another onside kick attempt goes through the hands. I think that went 10 yards. Tri-Cities Christian gets the recovery. Noah Koklo got it.
Good little pooch kick there. They got the right bounce. Kokolo able to fall on it. So Tri-City setting up again and go in Eagles territory, in Augusta territory. So great job there by Tri-City executing that onside kick. Looking up to go by 3 scores going into halftime. They have 9:54 left. So if they're able to get up by 3 scores, that's a great job. That's absolutely what Coach Boskin was looking for. They were looking for a lead at halftime. Looks like they might get it.
Well, especially considering that Tri-Cities got the ball to start the first half. So now Augusta, knowing that they'll get the ball in the second half, trying to go up by as much as possible to where that effect is negated. From the 46, there's a pitch forward, this time to Kuklo. Weaving through the defense again. Kuklo can't be brought down until it takes two men to bring him down. That was Hans Brace and Pelham Inglet. They had to bring him down only after he got to the 32-yard line.
And Kuklo's another guy. He's a deep threat. He caught that pass earlier, but he's also a guy that like to get out in open space. He's got great speed, looking out to get him in open space. Great deep threat as well, so great job. Look for them to go back to him. Preston Holmes has been their bell cow as of late, but look for Kuklo to step up here as well.
Here we go with the handoff up the middle. Defensive line reading that it was going to go to Preston Holmes the entire time, as there'll be no gain on the play. Got a second down on the 32-yard line. Another attempted carry up the middle, this time by Noah Kuklo, and he can't get forward. Again, those of you who are looking, we are working through technical difficulties. No Zoom and video giving us some issues. We're going to work through all of that for you as best as we can throughout the day. Trying to get through it with these technical difficulties we're having happen in this first game. Brings a 3rd down and 12.
Going for a timeout here. Going to take a minute and talk this over with these guys.
I believe that's the final timeout of the half for Tri-Cities Christian. That brings it to 8:33 left to go in this first half. We will step aside as well here from the Smoky Mountains. 28-14, Tri-Cities leaving over Augusta. Chance for Tri-Cities to regroup, and does it benefit him? Looks like it might with the toss to the left side. What a catch from the 5-yard line. An incredible reception from Josiah Dixon to make it a 1st and goal.
Josiah Dixon is also a guy they like to get the ball to. Didn't have much productivity last year, but he's one of the guys that the coaching staff is looking to step up. So great job there, great catch there, good possession catch. Getting the ball with your hands and bringing it down to your body. Great job there, setting up Tri-Cities for another potential touchdown.
He had 24 catches for 463 yards last year, 3 receiving touchdowns, carry up the middle. This time, Jordan Brown, the freshman, has got his first touchdown in the year.
Good job there. Just a QB keeper read option right there. DN crashed too hard. That's just an automatic pull for the quarterback. So great read there by Preston Brown, the young quarterback. Tri-Cities up 34-14 right now.
Chance for a 22-point lead around the corner. And still looking for the Augusta Eagles to respond. Now I'm in 3 straight drives, and the 2-point conversion attempt is no good. They tried to put Preston Holmes with a rush up the middle. A 20-point lead here, and you wonder what Coach Daniel Smith and the coaching staff are telling the Augusta Eagles right now as they are facing a 20-point deficit.
And Augusta is a team that doesn't back down. They made it to the conference championship last year. They've been here before, all right? So they're not going to back down. They're a tough team, hard-nosed team. So 20-point deficit doesn't really faze them that much. So I would have looked for them to come back. They've had good they've had opportunities on offense. They just haven't been able to capitalize it. That fumble really killed them on their last drive. So I wouldn't count them out just yet. But Tri-City's looking really good here to end the second quarter.
We did just lose video feed going back to the radio side of things. And, yeah, there we go. Coming back up for us. 34-14 here on the mountain. Another short squib kick attempt as this will go to the 35, and it's fallen on by Jaquel Roberts, and we'll see the Augusta Eagles try to get back to work here. Last year, the Augusta Eagles depended on Nathan Whiting. They also had a huge dependency on their 7 seniors that graduated. They lost all of their primary receivers and their starting quarterback. So a big struggle for the Augusta Eagles so far today as they try to kind of find their identity in a way.
Yeah, they're trying to find their identity, but they can't hang their head right now. They've had 2 good drives, so they've been able to move the ball. They've made plays, so the big play is really what's been helping them. They had that corner route to Guay earlier, so look for them to go back to Guay as they go to Pute right here.
Here's a rush up the middle, and
he's
looks
not
like
down.
His knees were not down Eli Poteet. He's still going to the right side of the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Eli Poteet, the senior, he had 17 rushing touchdowns on the season, and right as video cut out, his knees were almost down. He was almost dead in the water and got back up and found the path for about a 70-yard rushing touchdown.
Great play there. Just a lucky play, not getting off his knees, not hitting the ground, but able to get up and finish the play. Good job there by Eli Poteet. So Augusta, again, like I said, they're not out. They're not done. So great job there. Tri-City's defense, we have a bunch of guys playing both ways. So you're going to experience fatigue there, but great job there by Augusta being able to capitalize on that big play.
They certainly needed a response, being down by several scores, and this ball is loose. And remember, in high school football, you still cannot return the ball back after a 2-point conversion. That's only in the NFL. 2-point conversion attempt, no good for Augusta. It leaves them just at a 14-point deficit as they try to crawl back here. Audio only once again. We got a kickoff that's bouncing to the 30 and finally fallen on by the Tri-City Eagles. He'll be spotted down at the 28-yard line. Looked like the Augusta Eagles were knocking on the door of getting an onside kick recovery of their own, and now the Tri-Cities Eagles will get back to work. (34-20) right now, second quarter. 7:43 left until halftime, a 34-20 lead The Tri-Cities Eagles leading over the Augusta Eagles here in Gatlinburg. First game of the Black Bear Brawls. And I believe we may have fixed the video issue, actually, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like as soon as this gets full screen, we might be good to go. Sometimes you just got to unplug devices and plug them back in until we get it full screen. Here's your radio call. Handoff. It's a reversal. The ball is loose. The Augusta Eagles get it. It's a recovery down to the 10-yard line. The ball popped out, and Christopher Isaac, the junior, who only had 4 tackles on the year last year, has got a fumble recovery to start out the 2024 campaign.
Missed exchange there on the reverse for McCulloch. And for Tri-Cities, great job capitalizing there by Augusta Eagles. You don't count them out. You have 7 minutes left, so you got plenty of time to get within one score here before halftime. So great job there by Augusta. We have a little bit of a back and forth. We're getting a little bit of everything here, Spence, today. So this is a great job by both coaching staffs. Great job by these players getting a good start for the Black Bear Brawl this week.
Again, like we mentioned in our production meeting yesterday, we thought it was going to be an even match, thought we were going to be back and forth, and that's what we're looking at right now as Augusta is 8 yards, make that 7 yards away from making this a one-score game. Here's Vaseller, left side for the pass, reception, and down to about the 2-yard line. That was a good catch on the outside by Peter Somerville, the junior, who did not have a catch last year for the Augusta Eagles. Gets one there for a 2nd and goal.
If you're Augusta here, Preston Guay's been kind of your go-to guy. I would probably try to slip him out or get him on a little bit of a shallow cross right here. Try to get him across the Tri-Cities defense. You have a bunch of field to your right, so I try to get him. Oh, he's going to go left. So look for something coming back across the grain right here.
2nd and goal, high snap, handoff going to the end zone, breaks the goal line. That's Jordan Brown for the touchdown. And just like that, it's an 8-point game.
Augusta fighting back. Great job there. Great job capitalizing on the turnover. Getting back within one score, so they have a chance to make this a 6-point ball game. Either way, it's going to be a one-score game. So great job there by Augusta capitalizing on turnover, like I just said. So now if you get this score, this is where your defense got to step up. They stepped up last time. You got to see what they're going to do here. Tri-Cities, they don't have a lot of depth now. So all your young guys, it's time for step up and relieve these starters right here because they're playing both ways.
2-point conversion attempt. Vaseller will keep it himself, swallowed up by the Tri-Cities defense. Keeps it as an 8-point game, but what looked like Tri-Cities was going up several scores and leaving their fellow Eagles dead in the water is now an 8-point game and potentially a Black Bear Brawl for the ages.
Because it was 34-14 not even 15 minutes ago, Spence.
Yeah, we had a really short turnaround on that one. It happens that way sometimes. Got a lot of exciting action going around the 8-man football scene as well. Tonight's game, the Tennessee Heat and the Christian Community Colts will collide over in a White House. We'll maybe give you updates for that as we get them in when we're going through our coverage here from Gatlinburg. That game is in the evening.
And that's got early SEEK playoff implications, don't you think?
Way early on that for sure. And this is Josiah Dixon trying to go on the short kickoff recovery. He'll get stopped just past midfield of 49. And the Tri-City Eagles will get back to work on offense. One player we have not seen have too much action yet on the offensive side, the senior Preston Holmes last year had 9 rushing touchdowns, 459 rushing yards on 59 carries. Also had 7 catches for 43 yards.
He has 2 touchdowns today.
He had 2 touchdowns today. And actually, I beg your pardon, that's Caden Bugala has not had as much action as usual. Right side catch made. That's Josiah Dixon for the reception down to the 39-yard line for a gain of about 8 yards. I've mixed up the players there. It's Caden Bugala, who we haven't called his name that much so far.
I was about to say, Preston Holmes has been all over the field.
You're absolutely
today.
right, yeah. Again, as we said, it's been one of those mornings. But Preston Holmes has been all over. But, yeah, Caden Bugala last year, I mean, again, he was the only player that had quarterback stats. So we thought maybe he would be the starter, but seems that the freshman in Jordan Brown has been the one calling the shots. And he's been doing pretty well at the quarterback position thus far. Here's Brown.
Josiah Dixon,
and he is
open.
looking. That's Josiah Dixon for the catch and a touchdown. Tri-Cities responds.
Good play there by Jordan Brown. Pumping the Cucklow down to the bottom of the screen. Fake that screen. You had Josiah Dixon on a wheel route. So good connection there from Brown to Dixon to go up another score, making it 40-26.
Augusta went down, managed to score 2 drives consecutively, and a response by Tri-Cities. Trying to go back up by 16.
They're going to motion him out, looking for an empty set.
Brown to the left side, incomplete. 2-point conversion attempt, no good. That will leave it at a 14-point game with 5:51 left to go in this first half. And this collision of Eagles, one of several, as we talked about throughout the day. Also got at 1 p.m. myself, and Brendan Daniel will be on the call for the Freedom Cowboys and Pack Panthers. They've got their junior varsity game going on right now on the lower field here at the Rocky Top Sports World Complex. And talk about the Freedom Pack game. It almost feels like it should be the marquee night game on the weekend, but it certainly is going to be good for an afternoon matchup.
It's going to be a good matchup. You got 2 conference champions battling out. You got Freedom, who won their conference championship last year against Tennessee Heat. And you have Pack, who won it last year for them as well. So that's going to be a great game. You got a bunch of big guys who also played in the All-American game this past December. So a bunch of great athletes going at it for that collision tonight in Gatlinburg.
Townsend Pugh, the senior, kicking off here for Tri-Cities. And this will be another squib kick attempt, and this one picked up by Jaquel Roberts, and he's got some space. Jaquel Roberts to the left side. Got one man to beat. Jaquel Roberts going to the end zone. A kickoff return for a touchdown, 60 yards.
And Jaquel Roberts is a guy that's got great speed. You see it right there, able to get there. So now we're back within 1 score here, Spence. That's now 40-32. You still got 5 minutes left. So I expect maybe a few more points to be scored before halftime. So great job there on the kickoff return by Jaquel Roberts, able to get them back within 1 score.
2-point conversion attempt to make it a 6-point game. Tri-Cities has been, my numbers are right, 2 for 4, 1 for 4 on their 2-point conversion attempts throughout the day.
Going with that option play again.
And that's the pitch to Eli Poutit.
He got it.
They rule it short. It's real no good.
That's close. That's close.
Close on the pylon. 5:39 left to go in this first half. A answer from the Augusta Eagles to make it an 8-point game. 40-32, the Augusta Eagles respond, and looks like they had an issue on the kickoff. They still had the music playing. Yeah, it didn't go 10 yards, and I believe they will take the – they've got the offensive players going out. I guess they'll just take the ball where it landed, which they will spot it at the 44-yard line. It's great field positioning here for Tri-Cities. And we look down on the sideline. Drew Roop does not have any pads on. One of those situations you hope that he is okay, but it looks like he is done for this morning.
They're going for that same wheel route right there.
Same route to the right side, and the catch it, juking out the cornerback.
Dixon,
and
baby.
There goes Josiah Dixon. Yet another touchdown for the Tri-City Eagles.
Same play there for Boskin and his offense. They fake the tunnel screen to Cucklow, go back to the wheel route with Josiah Dixon, faking that tunnel screen allowed for that wheel to open up both corners, and safety bit on that tunnel screen, allowing Josiah Dixon to break up free. There was just too much ground for the Augusta defense to make up. Another touchdown for the Eagles.
Are we even going to get to this halftime break? Like, it's just the amount of scores that have happened within the last 60 seconds of game time is just incredible.
I think that's a negative, Ghost Rider.
Using one of James's sayings as usual.
No, he got that from me.
Oh, well, he got it from a whole bunch of people. There's another two-point conversion attempt, and that's incomplete pass intended for Cucklow. And one thing you'll at least give to this defense for Augusta, they're preventing two-point conversion attempts very well.
Cucklow's dealing with a knee right here.
Yeah, and that's especially not good if he's having issues over there. Yeah, he's over in the end zone. You can see on the camera angle, he's asking for somebody to come over either on his knee or calf. And he's going down in the end zone so they could get the medical staff over. And it looks like
he's just cramping.
We'll step aside for an injury timeout. (46-23), a scoring jousting match back and forth. That goes 10 yards and is fallen on at the 49-yard line by Noah Daniel, the sophomore, and the Augusta Eagles will get back to work.
I'm willing to bet that Augusta scores a touchdown here.
I would not be surprised if that were the case with the way that the last, as we mentioned, 60, 90 seconds of game time have gone, especially at midfield.
I would say Vegas is probably the money line for Augusta scoring a touchdown right now is pretty decent right now.
From the 50, down by 14. I guess the Eagles do receive the ball to start the second half. Toss right side, batted at the line of scrimmage. A defensive maneuver by Brady Boskin, who had several passes he defended last year on the defensive side. And he's one of those players we talked about as a star on the secondary for Tri-Cities.
Yeah, he's a star for Tri-Cities, playing middle linebacker. The guy that sent them to the SEAC playoff semifinal last year against Franklin Classical on that fumble scoop and score last year that sent them to the playoffs, like I just said. But yeah, great job by Boskin there. So if you're Augusta here, you about 5 minutes left. So I'd try to run the ball, run down some clock. Tri-Cities has been able to score basically on demand. So let's try to get that clock going. As Pute is going right here.
Carried it up the middle to the 49-yard line, about a 3rd down and 9 for a gain of 1. Doesn't look like they didn't even give him a yard on that, so it's a 3rd and 10.
Did they say 1st down or 3rd down?
I think 3rd down.
Okay.
That's at least what we got on the down marker.
All right, now you have to take a shot or set yourself up for 4th and manageable because, like I said, Tri-City's been able to score. You got about 4 minutes left. Clock is running, so let's see what they set up here.
3rd and 10. Vaseller looking, managed to avoid the sack there, still trying to find somebody, and he's just going to have to keep it himself, tiptoeing, trying to stretch out, and I don't think he got the line to gain, but he's got it on a 4th and 1, and more than likely you'll see him go for it.
Yeah, he was about 2 yards short. Great effort there, tiptoeing the sideline. Looks like it's going to be a 4th and about. They're going to give him they gave him 2 yards more than I thought he had. So setting up a 4th and 1 here. So I would just go straight dive plays. Get your big boys. Get that offensive line to move that Tri-Cities defensive line. But Preston Holmes has been a freak this entire game, so he can make a big play here. But let's see if Augusta is able to capitalize here as the clock is stopped at 3:56. So you really want that clock to get running so you can have a 1-score game. Oh!
And a muffed snap as it looked like they were doing a fake punt. The ball is loose again. Tri-Cities will pick it up. It's going to be a scoop and score. Headed back to the end zone. Brady Boskin, the senior. He's got it again. He had 1 caused fumble, 1 fumble recovery. He had a defensive touchdown last year. He's got one in his 2024 campaign.
Ended the season on a scoop and score and starts the season with a scoop and score for Brady Boskin. Great job there, forcing a bad snap there, but wait for Tri-Cities to get back there, force the fumble a 2nd time, and a scoop and score. Great job there by Brady Boskin, scooping it up and taking it in for a score. Now 52-32, so great job there by Tri-Cities.
Back to where they were earlier on a 20-point lead. Lost video again and briefly out and now briefly back. 2-point conversion attempt coming up to make it a 22-point game, which would be the largest that the Tri-Cities Eagles have had on the day. Brown will hand it off, and the 2-point conversion attempt from Preston Holmes successful. 54-32. 3:42 left to go in this first half. Tri-Cities Christian gets the scoop and score from Brady Boskin to make it a 22-point lead. .342 remaining in the first half, a 22-point lead, largest of the day for the Tri-Cities Eagles. You sometimes hear coaches or players talk about how the first week is a chance for teams to get the jitters out, start working out the kinks and everything along those lines. Doesn't look like Tri-Cities has much they have to worry about. Maybe tighten a few things on the defense because of allowing 32 so far, but their offense has been pretty stellar thus far as the ball goes out of bounds on the kickoff.
Yeah, and if I'm Tri-Cities, I'm really happy with what I'm looking at. You have a freshman quarterback, first start. He's able to put 54 points up in the first half. So if I'm Tri-Cities, I take that as a win for the first half. Coach Boskin said when I was talking to him before the game, he didn't know how they were going to play. He had no idea how his team was going to look. They hadn't played since Freedom last year, and I imagine he's very pleased with how his team's playing right now.
Taking a while for the Augusta Eagles to coordinate the play here. And to my knowledge, they have all 3 of their timeouts left. Chance for them to potentially score down here, but looks like they don't. Timeouts have not really been a factor as they call their first one of the half, but they haven't really needed them because of how quickly they've been able to score on every drive.
Yeah, I think time possession average right now is like 1:20. So
pretty low even for 8-man football.
I mean, that's just exaggerating it. But.
Reminder for you, plenty of games throughout the day. They'll be all here on 8-Man Extreme. JV game going on right now that's live on our channel. You can do a split screen between our game and the JV teams of the Freedom Cowboys and Pack Panthers colliding. You've also got at 1 p.m. another split screen opportunity. The Freedom Cowboys and Pack Panthers and their varsity teams will collide, as well as the Harvest Christian Academy and East Central Patriots will face off both 1 Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern. You got Arundel Parrott Academy versus the Evangel Lightning, and the Anderson Cavaliers and Cabarrus Stallions facing off as well. 7 p.m. Eastern, the marquee matchup between the Virginia Spartans and Georgia Force.
All right, I have a scoring update for you, Spence.
Oh, boy.
JV Pack is up 8-0 against the Freedom Cowboys with 7:32 left in the second quarter. So we have a tight one there.
Well, that game has gone by fast. Well, just depending on it. I'm trying to remember, JV football in 8-man football, I think they run middle school rules with 8-minute quarters, right?
Yes, they do.
So that's why it's gone by so fast. Only 24 minutes past their kickoff, and they're already in the second quarter. From the 47-yard line, Augusta Eagles with a handoff up the right side. Lost the football, and Tri-City's got it back. Punched out. Looked like the peanut punch, and Noah Koklo, he could show up on the offensive side, and he could show up on the defensive side.
Good job there by Koklo, able to redeem himself on the offensive side of the ball, now able to make a defensive play. Great job there. Great job there, Koklo, another guy that's been with Tri-Cities for a long time. So great job there. Setting it up for another potential score here to go up about 4 scores. I think this is Preston Holmes time, Spencer.
You think? Here's Preston Holmes up the middle. Preston Holmes to the left side. Not even sending a man to get him. He finds the gap, and Preston Holmes yet again has got another touchdown.
I liked the odds. I'll take it every time.
28-point lead. We're getting closer and closer to that mercy rule territory in the second half. But granted, the Augusta Eagles, they've continued to come back and score in some capacity. But the Tri-Cities Eagles, I think they all have pre-existing engagements later tonight. They're trying to, even though they're only 2 hours away from their area, looks like they got some plans tonight.
Coach Boskin said they got to break down the film once they get back. They got to get ready for the Tennessee Heat. So
they might be trying to give themselves enough time as here's a 2-point. You can't even tackle him. Fourth guy finally tackles Preston Holmes, but only as he's crossing the goal line. So you make that now 62-32 on a 30-point lead. Who knows? They might be going to Mount Juliet or White House, I should say, to go watch the game.
I mean, if I'm CCS or Tennessee Heat, I'd be like, oh, Preston Holmes time. Got to watch out for him. It's like if Aaron Donald played running back. So.
I wonder how many of the CCS or Tennessee Heat fans are watching this game right now. Sure, they're catching the film, studying, because if I'm not mistaken, Tri-Cities will have to play one of those teams at one point.
They play the Heat, I think, in 2 or 3 weeks.
I have to remind myself of the Sikh divisions and the structure they've had for this year. Well, if you're just joining us, that score is not a typo. A lot of those touchdowns have come within the last 3 minutes of game time, giving a mirror image to the 2019 National Championship where it was a score every single play back and forth by the offense. As this is picked up on the return, a spin move to the left side, and Potentially a touchdown saving tackle by Eli Lopez as Jaquel Roberts got it back on the onside kick again. And they will start at the 41-yard line in Tri-Cities territory.
So like I said 2 drives ago, if I'm Augusta, I want to run the ball. I want to run the clock out. So Tri-City's been able to score at will. So you want to try to get a few good run plays in there, try to wind that clock down, not giving Tri-Cities much time. If you do score, not much time back on offense.
.30-point lead thus far for Tri-Cities. You talk about statement games or statement wins. Tri-Cities is trying to show that in this one, to say we're not a team to be messed around with. See what Augusta has to say about that. Under pressure with 2 defenders. Finally gets the pass off. Could have been intercepted by Jaden Fields. And that pass looked like it was intended for Peter Somerville. It's incomplete.
Looks like they're putting a spy on Somerville right there, or Vossler right there. Brady Boskin playing the spy right there, not letting him get outside, which is what they got to do. If you can't contain him, you got to put a spy right there. So great job there by the Tri-Cities defensive coaching staff.
And then one brings up a 2nd and 10. And on the 2nd down, another scramble. Looking to the left side, incomplete. Another intended pass for Somerville. That'll bring up another 3rd down.
I don't get why you're passing the ball. Tri-City's been able to score at will here. Like I just said earlier, you're throwing the ball with 3 minutes left. You want to try to close this deficit. So I would have run two to three straight plays and then take a shot or throw the ball. Or try to get the running back in the flat at least. Don't go downfield when you're down by 4 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns, sorry.
We still got an 8-0 score for the Freedom Cowboys right now against the Pack Panthers in the junior varsity football game on the lower field. That's also live here on 8-Man Extreme. James Shannon and Blake Biggs on the call for that one. Probably having a blast as they usually do. James, anytime he's in the booth, always gets to enjoy it.
Do it for the brand.
You got to delay a game on the Augusta Eagles that'll move it back 5 yards.
All right, so you're 3rd and 15 here. Now you have to take a shot. You got to get the good play. So look for Preston Guay here. Like I said earlier, he's had 2 catches for two good catches deep down the field. So if I'm Vossler, I'm looking his way. You also have a receiver up top. I like this matchup on Kukla right here.
Deep toss up the middle of the field, overthrew his intended target of Josiah Character, and that'll bring up a 4th down and long.
He had a little bit of space, but good job by the DB to make up that space. Good job getting right back on top. So good play there by the DB. That's just great coverage right there. A little bit of overthrow right there by Vossler, but again, great defense by Tri-Cities.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Augusta Eagles, it looks like they have a punt team that just barely used it. They got Seth Balcom, the junior, who will punt it away. And this will go all the way back for a touchback into the end zone. Tri-Cities will get the ball back, chance for them to do some damage and potentially activate the mercy rule heading into the 2nd half.
Preston Holmes, maybe?
Maybe, potentially. You know what would be great? Let's see Caden Bugala get a touchdown.
Let's see. Everybody else has one at this point, right? He's the only one that doesn't.
Let's, they have some 8th graders on their team. Let's see, 8th grader Trenton Turner. He wasn't there last year. Let's see number 50 go for a touchdown. If he's, I'm trying to look down if 50 is on the sideline with the roster. Yeah, I see him there, Trenton Turner. Let's put him in. Let's see if we can get him a touchdown.
Put him at running back. Have Preston Holmes lead the way.
Well, you were right about that one. It's another rush up to Preston Holmes up the middle, and it might be Tri-Cities just trying to run the clock down.
Like I said, I like the odds. Come on, you never bet against it.
Would you now for Tri-Cities going in at least in this game? You would never bet against it. What do you think about going the rest of the season in terms of how Tri-Cities will? We'll get your answer on that after this play, but how Tri-Cities will be throughout the rest of the year. Deep toss right side, intended Koklo. He almost had it in coverage. That was a great hand move by Nathaniel Reese to help swat it away.
Let me pull up this Tri-City schedule real quick, Spence, so I can give you an accurate, so I have something to look back at.
We're already to that point in the broadcast.
All right, so like I just said, they open up with Augusta. They go to Carolina next week. They have Carolina at home. Riverside at home the week after that. Then they have Victory out of South Carolina. They have a bye week. Then they play the Tennessee Tigers, the Heat, Providence, Zion, and South Haven and Concord to wrap out the season. So you're looking at another decent year. There's a few teams in there that could give them a little bit of trouble. The Heat's probably – they go into the Heat above 500, then I think you're in pretty good shape.
And it looks like we've got another timeout called. Okay, maybe Tri-Cities used their final timeout earlier. Or they just used their final timeout, so they were down to 2. So that's the only problem is the scoreboard doesn't have how many timeouts are indicated for each team. You got 2:08 left to go here until halftime. 62-32, the Eagles of Tri-Cities leading over the Eagles of Augusta. .208 left to go in this second quarter. A 62-32 lead for the Tri-Cities Eagles over the Augusta Eagles. They face a 3rd down and 9. Toss. There's to Preston Ohms up the middle. Preston Ohms trying to find another gap. He's going to get the first down to about the 36-yard line. Seems like we've figured out for Tri-Cities what their strategy might be for the rest of the year.
Holmes, and more Holmes. I mean, it wouldn't take a Sherlock Holmes to figure out this Preston Holmes, right?
You stole that from me. I was going to say, I wonder if he's related to Sherlock Holmes or if he has any interest in those books. Hey, look, a toss to Noah Koklo, and he goes to the 40-yard line for a gain of about 4.
So Holmes has a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown. Let's see if he gets a passing touchdown. Oh.
Well, we'll have to find out after Jaquel Roberts, who been really good on special teams throughout the year or throughout this game already, and he is now going to be looked at by the medical training staff because he is down clenching what looks like his right hip, maybe his right hamstring. Looks like he's getting stretched out, so potentially just a cramp here. It's hoping best case scenario. We were talking about how Drew Roop is not dressed anymore. He is out for the day, and Caden Bugala was out for a couple plays. Looked like he's back in. You hate to see it in this first game of the season. Coaches and players, they talk about working out the kinks and issues with the team, but certainly injury is not at all a part of that or even considered as first game somebody going down. And good news to see him standing on his own feet and not heavily hobbling. And
If I'm Tri-Cities, I want to get out of here without an injury for the first half, so
Right.
I'll take 2 knees. It's a minute 34. Just take 2 or 3 knees and just you have a second down. Just run that clock out.
So I'm looking, I've got picture-in-picture here on the Pack-Panthers game right now, and I guess they put the score wrong because it says 16-0 in the second quarter for the Pack-Panthers. So I guess Pack was the one who scored for both of those attempts. That's
Look
your
at
update
that.
there. And there goes Preston Holmes again, weaving through the defense, making it look so easy. One man to beat, and a touchdown saving tackle inside of the 10, and that unfortunately looks like Nathaniel Reese is slow to get up. Hopefully just had the wind knocked out of him, but he slow to get up after making that tackle. But a big gain for Tri-Cities as they're knocking on the door of the end zone once again.
I'm very curious to see that stat line after this game.
Yeah, that'll be fun to see how much work he's put in. And it's not uncommon or uncharacteristic when you look at the stat lines for what he did last year on both sides of the ball, as this will be a keeper. Jordan Brown is trying to keep it himself, and he'll lose about a yard or two back to the 10-yard line for second and goal.
When you have a minute here, you have under a minute now. Clock is running. It's second down. You can either get another score here to go up by 38, or you can just take the knee, try to get into halftime.
45 seconds left, winding down. Tri-Cities trying to punch it in. It's a reversal left side. That's Josiah Dixon trying to go in. He'll get stopped at the 3-yard line. And about 30 seconds left in this first half on a 3rd and goal. You think they try to run one more play here?
It looks like they're trying to clock it here.
A 3rd down, and they do. Very rare to see that in 8-man football, too. A lot of times they try to hurry up with the offense. You sometimes see clocking, but not a whole lot. So good job by Coach Boskin and company to get that situated. So now a 4th and goal, chance for them to punch in one last score. Again, the Augusta Eagles receive the ball to start the second half. What do you think the money line odds say on this one, Eli?
Right now, it's probably minus 720.
Minus 720. As looks like we had a whistle, delay a game. They'll move it back 5 yards. And to my knowledge, I believe high school football does not have the 10-second runoff rule when it's delay a game under 2 minutes. Final 19 and a half ticks in this first half. 4th down and goal. And this time it's a toss right side looking. It's an interception. Intercepted by Nathaniel Reese. Had one man to beat. It got down to the 21-yard line. Forced out of bounds by Jordan Brown. But the junior Nathaniel Reese, 10.9 left to go in the first half. And Augusta may just try to take a shot at the end. But a great interception by Nathaniel Reese.
That is why you take a knee and get into halftime without any mistakes. Yes, there's 10 seconds, but it's 8-man football. Anything can happen. So if I was Tri-Cities there, I'd take the knee, get into the half without any mistakes. You take the knee there.
So maybe one play from scrimmage for the Augusta Eagles. Not entirely sure how many timeouts they have left. They might have one. From the 22-yard line. Looking for the option. They'll just toss it quickly to Eli Poteet. Trying to weave through, and I believe he got the first down to stop the clock.
They're going to take a timeout.
So 2.7. And they do call a timeout, so I believe that was their last one. They may have one more, but brings it down to 2 seconds. And definitely one of those situations where they'll just take a shot down the field.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You got 2 seconds left. You're down by 30 points. You gotta take a shot to get at least within 3 scores.
62-32, Tri-Cities Christian leads over Augusta in this first game of the Black Bear Brawls of 2024. Second year that this has happened, where Rocky Top Sports World has invited teams to participate in kickoff games for the high school football season at both the 8-man and 11-man level. You got several state champions, runner-up teams for the state championship, and it's set to be some good matchups today.
All right,
What's likely the final play of the first half?
they're gonna bring 3.
Only 3 rushing. They have enough as time expires. Deep toss to the left side. Swatted down. Pass intended. Preston Guay. And swatted down by Jalen Fields. That's going to end the first half for this first game in the Black Bear Brawl. 62-32. Tri-Cities Christian having a statement first half against the Augusta Eagles here in Gatlinburg. We'll be back for second half coverage in about 10 minutes here from the mountain. Start of the second half from the Smokies. The Tri-City Christian Academy Eagles leading over the Augusta Eagles 62-32 in the first kickoff game of the 2024 Gatlinburg Black Bear Brawls. Spencer Thompson, Eli Cornett, Brendan Daniel running camera and helping us behind the scenes. Proud to be with you in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. This dart of a kick immediately goes into the hands of Caden Bugala. I apologize. I thought that the Augusta Eagles were receiving for the second half. I was completely wrong in saying that through the first half. So that was a part of the reason why the Tri-City Eagles were trying to score so much at the end of the second half. One more point from what, at least what I was told up here in the booth. I believe it's supposed to be 5 more points. It's 35 or more in the mercy rule, but I was told 1 more point and they would do a running clock. So I guess it's a 30-point lead now. I'd have to look and see about the TSSAA rule changes and if that's adjusted anything. But actually the clock is running now fully. So I guess the mercy rule has been enacted with it being 30 points now. So that's a new rule I didn't know for the TSSAA sanctioned rules and all of that. So I guess they made it a little bit more of a mercy rule. As this is a carry by Jordan Brown on the left side going to about the 37-yard line is where he will be stopped out of bounds as they will continue to – they'll stop the clock at 11:02. So I guess they accidentally nope, they're starting it again. Okay. All right. Now that we're in sort of the mercy rule phase, we could tell you the Pack Panthers in the junior varsity side are leading over the Freedom Cowboys 16-0 in the third quarter. We don't know what time it is because our colleague James Shannon has no clock on the scoreboard. He does that from time to time. As this is another carry up the middle. Who else but Preston Holmes gets a carry of a couple of yards here, and
he's down.
That is not a good sign. Hopefully, it's just a cramp. I mean, he's been putting in the work today, that's for sure. But yeah, he was trying to get helped up by one of his teammates and immediately went back down and clenched his leg. That is not a good sign. Hoping it is. Looks like he's being stretched out.
Yeah.
Just a cramp.
The humidity out here is not anybody's friend today.
And he's been putting in the work for sure. So it makes sense unless you have him him drinking a whole bunch of water, a bunch of potassium getting injected into the system. It makes sense with him having having that challenge right now, and hopefully it's just a cramp that he is experiencing. 10:23, and it'll wind down once they get back here. We will be back in we'll actually stay here. It looks like they've got Preston Holmes back up, and he will be carried off by his coach and teammate. Looked like that was Trenton Turner. You know, we were just talking about this at halftime, and now it sort of seems like the time of cycling in backups and those who are waiting on the wings or the next stars for the team. And we were immediately saying, give the ball to Trenton Turner, the 8th grader. We mentioned him earlier. Get him the ball.
Let's get the 8th grader in there, Trenton Turner. Let's get him to run the ball.
There's a toss to the right side to Josiah Dixon. Gets swallowed up by the secondary of the Augusta Eagles. Another thing we talked about during the intermission, Nathan Whiting has only been in, from what we've seen, for 1 play. He has not touched the ball other than once.
Oh, we got another one down. Looks like another cramp.
And and you're right. We've got another unfortunate cramp. Can't see which number it is from here. We know it is a player for the Augusta Eagles. And
it's Somerville.
Yeah, it's Somerville, which is not a good sign. Especially the junior at 10 tackles on the year for 2023, 1 fumble recovery, split that between solos and assists on his 10 tackles. And the coaching training staff is going to take a look at Somerville, so we will step aside. So the good news is that Somerville walked off the field on his own feet, but he's got his helmet on. More than likely, he is done for the afternoon, as this is carried on the left side by Jordan Brown, heading to about the 23-yard line, and the clock will continue to run. So what we were talking about before that injury occurred was that Nathan Whiting has only played one snap for at least from what we've seen for the Augusta Eagles. He has not touched the ball more than once, and we talked about it in the open of how he was the utility player for the Augusta Eagles last year as a sophomore, and he's been underutilized in this game thus far.
He's been only playing linebacker today, which is weird because he was their go-to guy.
Deep toss, right side, touchdown, and that is Noah Kolko with another 6 points.
Just a standard fade right there. Good ball by the freshman Preston Brown, just lofting it up where only his guy can get it. Good job tracking the ball by Kuklo, making it now 68-32.
I'm surprised they don't have the clock running at this point because they had it running earlier. Maybe they just wait after the 2-point conversion. But
it usually stops at the 2-point.
So now a 36-point lead, chance to make it 38. And toss across the middle, trying to get past the line of scrimmage. I think he didn't get there. It looked like he was split second near the line. Would have been great for Slade Blevins, the junior, to get that 2-point conversion, but wasn't able to get it done.
Oh, the big fella almost got in there. Just a standard, not a standard, but just a flat route there to the big man trying to get in. Didn't succeed that time. They may go back to it. Let's get Blevins at running back. Let's see what he can do.
You're starting to sound like James a little bit. It makes sense because of how the way this game has gone.
James is my boss in 2 different phases of this sport. So I mean,
68-32, Tri-Cities. We mentioned it already about this statement win that teams sometimes have in their history. Tri-Cities is showing that they're not a team to mess with. So any of the Seek teams that they're going to face off in this season or any of the other teams on their schedule, it's going to be a tough challenge for them.
Yeah, they play Riverside, the Heat. They also play, let me think here, who else is in the division? Heat, Zion, and Riverside. So those teams better take notice because the Golden Eagles have let the Seek world that they're here and they're coming. Oh, and they play the Tigers. I should have known that. They're on our schedule. I was going to known that.
Hopefully Coach Adams isn't watching so that you didn't forget about that one.
He's up. He's up, and he's watching it.
This one received at about the 39-yard line, and avoiding several tackles is Nathaniel Reese. Lost the football, managed to get it back, and he's down at the 40-yard line, and I believe that is where the clock will start running for the mercy rule. All right, so we've actually been informed that apparently the scoreboard is not working at the JV game, so it's not that there's no clock. There's not that the clock was just taken off. It was that it's being kept on the field by the officials.
We have another cramp down here. Spence Kucklo's cramping up.
Yep, Kucklo, again, the amount of work that the 4 players have put in, or 3 or 4. And as the ball is loose again and waiting on a signal, they're ruling it as an incomplete pass.
That was backwards.
Yeah, the far official was the one who ruled the incomplete signal. Wasn't the one closer to the action, but call it there, and it's a 2nd and 10.
Tri-City's starting to funnel their young guys into the game here. Let's get Trenton Turner here at nose guard. Come on. We need it.
High snap, handoff, Poutit, the left side, goes out of bounds for a gain of a couple yards. The Augusta Eagles having their struggles here on the mountain in the Smokies. Doesn't help with the heat starting to pick up. Got about 78 degrees with the sun beating down. And, you know, with the this is a turf field, so that adds a couple other degrees to the temperature. So you're getting sun beating down upwards of the 80s and the humidity. You're outside of the press box right now with the camera stuff. How does the temperature feel down there, Eli?
I am nice and cool in the shade.
Oh, yeah, you got the shade a little bit.
I'm in the shade, man.
Scramble to the right side for Vaseller. Almost a horse collar tackle. He's finally stepped out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. And we got some people talking. There's a little bit of trash. It looks like Coach Boskin was upset at that with probably some words exchanged there by Petit on.
Petit went after Holmes. I wouldn't do that.
There's the flag, and
they called that on Boskin.
Yeah, they probably will with him talking and getting frustrated at the situation.
But if I'm Petit, I don't go after Holmes. That's a big boy right there. I wouldn't go after that.
Yeah, it'll probably be one of those. They either unsportsmanlike conduct or sideline warning. Okay, just a sideline warning. First offense, there's no penalty. It's just a warning.
This is kind of where frustration sets in. It's your first week. It's your first game of the year, and you're not things are not going your way right now. And I can understand frustration, but you got to keep your good head on your shoulders here. You still got a lot of football left to play this year, so don't be too frustrated right now. If you're Augusta, you still have a lot of football ahead of you, and you still have a chance. It's not a conference game. You have a chance to get back to the playoffs. So I wouldn't hang your head too low right now.
Still some time for them to also cycle in their other players.
We need Trenton Turner. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, Trenton Turner for Tri-Cities, the 8th grader. We talked about him. They've also got John Mark Dixon, Eli Lopez. I think Lopez has maybe been in for a play or two.
Lopez is their backup quarterback.
He is, yeah. And then Lucas Campoli. Get some of the other freshmen in there as well, the 8th graders, 9th graders. Augusta does not have any 8th graders on the roster. They have a lot of freshmen. As here's another scramble of a Vaseller. Will go down at about the 50-yard line. And it looks like they will head back after a gain of maybe a couple yards for a third down at midfield.
Things are starting to get a little bit chippy here, Spencer.
Well, especially because the amount of times several times that Augusta, not intentional, but going towards the sideline with their tackles, you're right, it's starting to get a little bit chippy between the teams.
That's why you put the young bucks in. Trenton Turner, come on. We do have a young buck here at nose, number 5.
You get a high snap, quick toss left side. There's the catch by Somerville, and he's got a decent gain to about the 30-yard line. And we were talking at halftime about Somerville needed to start making an impact. He's got a good catch there for a first down.
Again, though, no Nathan Whiting here on offense. 0. And he's about 85% of your production. He's just standing on the sideline. Put him in.
Yeah, you're right. Now, you wonder sometimes that because he was in for one play, there's sometimes we don't know what's going on the sideline. There could be some discussion with him and his coach. Certainly the coaches are the ones who make the best decisions on there. There could have been some disciplinary actions. There could be some choice there. Maybe Whiting is potentially injured in that regard, but it is odd with their utility player only having one snap thus far, as Vaseller will carry it up for a couple of yards. But it does seem very abnormal, especially in the kickoff game.
Cramping now.
Yeah, that's not good either. We were talking about Bugala, they're one of their other stars on the Tri-City Eagles roster, and he's got a lot of cramping going up right now. 2:46 left to go in this third quarter. We will step aside for an injury timeout. 68-32. Good. Now, Bugala got back on his own feet. He was hobbling, so Cramp will be stretched out by the medical staff and looked at.
No, Trenton Turner's stretching him out. Good teammate.
There's carry up the middle. I believe that's Pelham Inglet, number 16. That's the junior getting the carry up the left side. And we've been mentioning the name Trenton Turner a lot, even though he hasn't been in the – I don't think he's been in the game yet.
I should start a chant down here for Trenton Turner.
Just Turner.
His mom's sitting right in front of me, so.
Now I can see why we've been mentioning his name a lot. Makes sense. 2 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Still 16-0 in the Freedom Pack JV game at the lower field. It's third down and 11. It's a carry up the left side, or is a keeper by Vassell. Keeper by Vasseller, as you got 90 seconds left to go in this third quarter.
Fourth down here, you just got to take a shot. Just take a shot. You got nothing to lose at this point. Take a shot. Find your guy. Preston Guay was a guy that came up early in the first quarter. Haven't really heard from him since. Vasseller had a good 2 plays there in the first half. Was able to make something happen. Able to get them on the board. So if I'm here, I'm just taking a shot deep. You're inside. You're in Eagles territory. Just go ahead and take a shot. All that grass right there for that corner route again for Preston Guay.
Fourth down and 11.
There it is.
And there's the toss on the right side to Poteet. He's trying to get some space. Couldn't get past Coco. Good to see Coco back when he was having a little bit of cramping issues earlier.
We got a flag down, though, Spence.
Yep, we got a flag, and it looks like we got another player clenching his hamstring.
Are we in Swanee, Spencer?
Certainly seems like it with the amount of heat that's factoring in, at least on the field. Feels all right in this press box, even though it is even though it's –
look at you with your air conditioning.
No, well, remember, this section of the press box doesn't have air conditioning because so Gatlinburg Pittman, as this player that's cramped, is Maddox Valencia, the junior, had 21 tackles last year, 16 of them on his own, 1 sack. Also had 9 carries for 27 yards as he's getting looked at by the medical staff. But no, so Gatlinburg Pittman, when they expanded this press box over the years, they purposely made this where my vantage point is the visiting coaches box. No central airflow, no air conditioning in this. That's one of the hugest competitive advantages ever.
Well, you'll live.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Then you said you're in the shade down there, and it's also not too hot right now.
I also have a concession stand behind me. I'm good.
You and Brendan gonna have some of the nachos during the game?
Oh, no doubt.
Tri-City's driving on 1st and 10. Deep toss on the right side. Looking for the catch. It's caught into the hands of Noah Kolko. Tried to get the better of the defenders and got to the 33-yard line. And Tri-City's clockwork as always. And we do have an update on the JV game. The Pack Panthers are now leading 22-0. And it looks like they just scored 4th quarter on the southern field. And Tri-City's trying to knock on the door to get another touchdown here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. And they'll hand it off. Who else but Preston Holmes going up the center.
Fumbled, though.
He did fumble it, but got the ball back. And that'll make it to a 2nd and 11.
They're just going to let the quarter run out, though.
And they'll swap sides of the field for it. 12 minutes left. That'll be running with the Mercy Rule. Tri-Cities Christian trying to finish things up against the Augusta Eagles here in the 2024 Black Bear Brawls. Start of the fourth quarter on the mountains of the Smokies. Catch right side
Bugala.
by Bugala. Finally getting the ball on offense. Bugala goes to about the 24-yard line.
First time we've heard his name on offense. Good job there. Speed out there by Caden Bugala. Way to get his pads low, get down the field. Good job.
Here's a carry up the middle by who else again but Preston Holmes. He lost the football, and it's picked up by Jordan Brown. The freshman picks it up and scoops it into the end zone to get another touchdown for Tri-Cities.
A little bit of excitement there by the young fella, Brown, scooping up the scoop and score there for the Golden Eagles touchdown. Good job there, being aware, being alert, getting the ball and getting into the end zone. So now since they've scored again, Trenton Turner, question mark?
I'm telling you, man, you got to start a chant down there on
I'm
the.
manifesting it. I'll start the chant. I don't care.
And 2-point conversion attempt successful by, this time it's a carry by Bugala. He tried to score the touchdown, got the 2-point conversion.
All right, tell you what, next offensive series, I'm going to get this Tri-Cities crowd to start a chant for Trenton Turner.
And looks like Bugala is down again. He's got another cramp. That seems to be the trend of this morning. We got a 76-32 score. Bugala goes off on his own feet. We'll get off on the sideline. Just a reminder for you, we got coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern, so about 30 minutes from now, we've got the 1 p.m. matchup here on this field between the Freedom Cowboys and Pack Panthers. We also got the 1 p.m. matchup on the south field between between Harvest Christian Academy and the East Central Patriots. Both of those games for you here on 8-Man Extreme.
All right, I got a chant planned. We're all good.
He's starting to get everybody to plan this chant to try and get turned. I think this is going to be the first time that any 8-Man Extreme broadcaster is leading a chant, which is the benefit of you being down in the stands with the fans.
I'm Pat McAfee, brother.
Don't tell James that. He wants to be the Pat McAfee of 8-Man football.
Yeah, all right, Corso.
44-point lead for team from Bluntville, Tennessee.
Let's see. Another onside kick.
And they'll squib it a little bit. It's immediately fallen on at the 48-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Trenton. 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 Okay.
I can hear everybody
We're
in the background.
Trenton. Woohoo! Trenton Turner. Whoa, yeah. There we go.
Yeah, he was in on the kickoff at least.
He's looking up. He's looking right at me, or right at his family.
We'll see what the Augusta Eagles try to do here. Maybe just try to cut their losses in a sense. And a timeout called by Tri-Cities Christian. That's their first of the half.
Trenton Turner did not like that chant.
It gets us down to 10:21 left to go in this fourth quarter. And since we got some time on this timeout here, next matchup, we talked about both of these 1 p.m. contests. So Eli, you are going to be on. You're actually going to be helping us with the Freedom Pack matchup with Brendan and I calling this 1 p.m. matchup. Any thoughts you have from what we talked about last night?
Well, so good matchup there. You got two conference champions. Pack coming off a very disappointing national championship loss to Evangel, I believe, last year in Florida. Freedom already said they're not going to Florida this year. They didn't go last year. The Heat went in their place. Freedom beating Heat in the conference championship. Freedom bringing a lot of guys back. Jalen Venter, Logan Byers, among others. Pack also bringing a lot of their guys back. So good matchup. If I'm Pack, I want to air it out. I want to go vertical. The Freedom plays downhill. They don't really like to get depth of their corners. The Freedom's going to make you go side to side on offense. Jalen Venture, Logan Breyer's going left and right downhill. So if I'm Pack, I want to be very disciplined where I am playing defense. I want to be able to fill the gaps, get Jalen Venture on the ground, Logan Breyer's on the ground. Because if you miss if you whiff 2 or 3 tackles, they're taking it to the house guaranteed. The Heat found that out last year, and they don't want a repeat of that. So if I'm Freedom, I want to get a hot start. I want to be able to get the ball downfield with my 2 best running backs. If I'm Pack, I want to also get a head start. So if I'm Pack, I want to get the ball. I want to start off with the ball on offense. I want to try to get an early score to try to keep it very close. So with both defenses, both offenses, both explosive offenses, I expect a high-scoring game, a much closer game than this one. But I would say Freedom is going to be on top. I'm going to say overtime, Spencer. I'm going to say Freedom wins it in overtime.
I didn't know Freedom wasn't going down to Florida this year. That's news to me. So they so what was that? Coach Collins mentioned they're not taking the trip this year.
That's what he said at Media Day.
Ah, that's right. It's been a week since I remember him mention about that.
You've been asleep since then.
Oh yeah, as James always says, slept since then. But yeah, especially with the way 2021 went down for the Freedom Cowboys and. Or not 21. The last couple of years it was 22 with losing the national championship. They didn't go down to Florida. That was their plan with the kind of the way Coach Collins put it. The midway season they had, and so usually the Freedom Cowboys, they said their goal was always to go down to Florida because before they didn't have anything, but now that they're in a conference and have a chance to win the conference championships, and now 2-time defending champions. Trying to defend that SEEK title.
And even now with the SEEK title, they've had an easy road the last 2 years. It's a little bit tougher now with CCS, South Haven, and Lancaster, and along with Chattanooga and Riverside joining the conference. So a little bit of a tougher road, but nothing they can't handle. They've done it. They've been there before. So expect another good year for the Freedom Cowboys.
So we do have an update on the JV game. The Pack Panthers scored 28-0 right now on the JV side as this ball is punted away.
I'd Peter that. There we go.
And that'll head back to about the 35, 36-yard line. As the clock will continue to run down, the Tri-Cities Eagles will.
Trenton Turner! Yeah! And we got Eli Lopez. Here we go. Now we're cooking with peanut oil.
We are at that point in the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Trenton. We got another chant going here, Spencer. Here we go. Trenton Turner, starting center for the Tri-City Golden Eagles. Here we go. Now we're playing football. Oh, come on.
Robbed. That is absolute robbery with the stoppage. Was that Augusta that called the timeout?
Yes, it was. Tri-City fans out here are not happy.
Oh, that's great. That is so great. 7:16 left to go in regulation here for this first game of the kickoffs for the 2024 Black Bear Brawls. We got two games will be down in a few moments. We got 5 more games to go throughout the day.
Can I just say I manifested this?
You did.
I did. I started the chant. I've been talking about it for the last 2 hours. So let's see what Trenton Turner can do. Let's see. Get a pancake, big boy. Let's go. Come on.
That's Eli Cornett, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be with us all day.
Just getting started. Just getting started.
Yeah, Brendan Daniel and I will be on the call for the Freedom and Pack game. James will be working with Blake Biggs for the East Central and Harvest game on the second time around.
Here we go, Trenton Turner.
As we have another player slung to the right side. Incomplete pass intended for Levi Furrow, the sophomore. He had 2 catches for 14 yards last year.
Levi Furrow is also a guy that Coach Boskin is talking about getting more involved in the offense. He wants to see what he can do right here. All right, here we go. Good snap, Trenton.
Catch at the 40-yard line. I
That's
believe
incomplete. That's incomplete.
Waiting for the ruling. I believe that's ruled a catch and fumble.
He didn't take 2 steps.
Yeah, I'm wondering, the officials, they might want to discuss this. Yep, he's bringing they're bringing it back. It's an incomplete.
They didn't rob Trenton of that bad snap.
Well, Trenton, it wasn't his fault on that.
No, I'm saying it was a good snap.
No, yeah.
Don't take that away from the young brother. Here we go. I'm talking good snap.
3rd down, right side. The catch is made this time by Levi Furrow. He gets over to about the 38-yard line for now a 4th down and 7. To go through the rest of the afternoon and the evening, the Cabarrus and Anderson contest. James and Eli will be on call for that one. Blake and me will be calling the Evangel and Arundel matchup at 4 p.m. and then 7 p.m. Eli and Brendan are working that marquee matchup in the evening.
I'm going to channel my inner Chris Fowler for that
one. Highly doubt Chris Fowler is watching this, or anybody who knows him is watching this.
Chris Fowler's getting ready for that A&M Notre Dame game in a couple weeks.
Yeah, Chris, much love from your colleagues over here in Gatlinburg. About a 4th down and 6. It'll be punted away.
Boom.
And this time by Josiah Dixon. And back deep. This will bounce all the way down. Good bounce on the punt to about the 21-yard line. Just over 5 minutes left to go in regulation as they try to wrap things up here. Maybe the Augusta Eagles will march down the field to try and score.
All right, let's put Trenton in nose guard. Time to change that mindset. Let's go.
I think we found Eli Cornett's mission now is to
recruit Trenton Turner to the Tennessee Titans. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Good luck getting them to make that commute from the Tri-Cities all the way over to Thompson Station.
Private jet. Here we go. Come on.
I think we found Eli Cornett's mission for not just the recruitment, but to, we say James has heat bias and CCS bias. Eli is now developing Tri-Cities bias.
No, it's Trenton Turner bias.
Trenton Turner bias specifically.
I still got to play these guys in 3 weeks.
I want you when you're on the sidelines coaching with the Tigers, I want you to be chanting Trenton.
I don't want to get fired.
Sure, Coach Adams would not appreciate that one. But here's carry to the left side. That is Eli Poteet. It's a gain of a couple of yards there to make it a 2nd and 8 as we go to the final 4 minutes here in this first game.
All right, we got a few teams funneling in here now. Evangel's now shown up. Arundel's now shown up. Starting to get a look at these teams coming up playing later tonight, Spencer.
Yeah, you were mentioning the Evangel Lightning are already starting to warm up. They've showed up to watch several of these games. A lot of the other teams are getting to warm up and prepare for their Black Bear Brawl, as this is kept directly. How about this big burst by Vaseller? He's got one man to beat. Nathan Vaseller is continuing. The sophomore is going to go all the way for a touchdown, almost 80 yards.
That kid's athletic. Give him. That kid's athletic. Good run there. Good cut back. Hey, another good block by number 23, finishing that run off over for Vaseller, able to score a late touchdown here for the Eagles. Good job. Good job. Maybe we can get Trenton Turner at running back?
Two-point conversion attempt here after the touchdown score, carry up the middle, and that two-point conversion is good by Leviticus Faulkner, the freshman. Makes it a 76-40 game.
So, Spencer, my starting running back just sent me a text and said, who you trying to recruit?
So what we actually, I just saw Andrew Capps, the coordinator for the Black Bear Brawls and also director, I believe his title is Director of Development here at Rocky Top Sports World, runs all the All-American games, runs the Black Bear Brawls and the Rising Stars game as well, and they tried to run the All-Star Baseball game over the summer, ended up getting rained out, and he just showed me they have a fake or sort of a faux Lombardi trophy that's got the name of either of the teams on the trophy to give out to the winning team, and they've got an MVP like fool's gold chain that has the Black Bear Brawl logo and MVP on it, and you can bet we know who the MVP is going to be.
Trent, I'm kidding. Preston Holmes. Preston Holmes, he played a really good game today. Over 200 yards rushing. Good job on defense, playing nose, plugging up the run. So, yeah, Preston Holmes is most likely going to be your MVP.
Yeah, you would not be surprised who that MVP is for sure.
Kukla also had a really good game. But Preston Holmes really carried this team to that win today. So are we looking at an early Seek All-American, Spencer, maybe, in Preston Holmes?
You know, certainly way too early to tell, but I would imagine after this game you could nominate any of your players for either All-American.
Player of the week?
Oh, absolutely. You could absolutely be nominated for that. It's all coaches who get the chance to do that. Preston
Wyatt
Holmes.
Sutton may have something to say about that tonight against CCS.
Oh, yeah, we'll see how that game goes, but and it's nominations and then it goes to fan voting on that, so definitely will be a tight contest as Jordan Brown will take it to the right side. And it'll get stopped at the line of scrimmage.
They're just going to run this clock out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no sense.
Minutes. All right, Freedom's warming up. Pack's warming up. We're about to get ready for game 2, Spencer.
We got about 20 minutes until kickoff for that one, and we'll be excited to bring that to you, Brendan, Daniel, and myself, or me, or I.
Me, myself, and I.
2 minutes left to go in this game, and then we'll get you to the next ones. I believe the JV game is almost wrapped up, or at least it's been on the Be Right Back screen for a while. But that one was very much a one-sided contest with the
Why not
Pack
one more
Panthers.
time for the big man?
Oh, yes, absolutely. A big run there and a decent collision as Preston Holmes got right back up. And you could see him clapping and still excited.
Yeah, you ain't hurting that man.
Oh, of course not.
Incredible Hulk down here.
Him and with several other players, they also had a little bit of cramps here and there, but looks like they worked themselves out. And think about it this way, too. For Tri-Cities, they're only 2 hours away from where they are based out of. They could easily stay here and watch these games and then leave when it's all said and done and head back home.
Coach Boskin already said they're breaking down the film for next week. They've asked for the earliest slot so they get in, get out, and get ready for next week.
Well, fair enough. Hey, here's Preston Holmes plowing up the middle again to about the 22-yard line, and maybe one more play should do it here. Tri-Cities with a fantastic performance on the mountain.
Yeah, great job here by the Golden Eagles, making a statement win to open up the season. They got their game next week against Carolina. Then they have another game against Victory. Then they start Seek play. So they have 2 more tests before they start conference play. So good start here for the Golden Eagles. Looks like they're going victory formation here. Coach Boskin just called it. So good way to wrap up a first game to start the 2024 season.
Final play of scrimmage for Tri-Cities. They'll kneel it down, and a statement win. Just a few years ago, the Tri-Cities Eagles started their program, and now they begin their 2024 campaign with a monumental victory over the Augusta Eagles, 76-40 in the spotlight on the mountain. Final score, Tri-Cities 76, Augusta 40. Just a reminder, the second games of the Black Bear Brawl is coming up in a few moments. The Freedom Cowboys and Pack Panthers here on this main field. The other broadcast, the Harvest Christian Academy, will be facing off against East Central. For Eli Cornett, Brendan Daniel, all the hardworking men and women that make this run so smoothly, I'm Spencer Thompson saying so long from Gatlinburg for this matchup. Next matchup coming up as the Tri-City Eagles are victorious against the Augusta Eagles.